Let's talk about postcards and how that process in campaigns works. First, of course, you're going to get signed in to Command. Next, we're going to go to the campaign section in Commands. If you haven't been to the campaign section, it's the one that's marked with the megaphone. Once in the campaign section, you're going to come over to the little green dot in the bottom right-hand corner and hit that plus sign. That's then going to ask you, which campaign do you want to create? Postcards are direct mail campaigns. Simply click on it, and you'll receive this pop-up window that's going to ask you what you want to name the campaign. You should always name it something that is recognizable to you. Like if you're trying to advertise a listing, maybe name it the listing property. Or if you're trying to attract listings, name it the neighborhood you're trying to attract listings from.
I'll be right back.
Call this one simply Cooks Valley. And I'm going to say that I'm advertising my listing. It does not matter which one of these you select. This is only for your awareness of what the campaign was for. Now, since I selected that I was going to advertise a listing, it pulled open this side menu asking me to select the listing that I want to advertise. Currently, this window is showing all active listings that only I have listed myself. You can change these to all listings and all statuses, and using the address or MLS number, find different properties that you would like to market via a postcard. Now, if you're going to use somebody else's listing, just be sure to get their permission in writing before you start advertising with it. I'm going to use my Cooks Valley, so I'm going to go ahead and hit select. Now, this is a pretty straightforward screen. On the right-hand side, you're going to see a preview. And on the left-hand side, you have all of these drop-downs that have to be completed with green checkboxes before you can move on to the next section. Now, we've already got our listing. Our overview is done. That's just where we simply named this campaign and selected that we were advertising a listing. I simply click on content, and I now get this drop-down that I need to complete. You can select a template that is a pretty straightforward postcard, or you can create a postcard in the designs section of Command, download it, and then upload it using this option. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to use the preset templates that are already available in this section. If I hit this drop down, you'll see that there's a compact template, default template, large template, modern, and large template contemporary. Each one is a different size. You have a 4x6, a 6x9, a 6x11, and a 6x11. Each one of these is a different price. I'm just going to stick with the compact. You'll notice that information from the MLS has come over and filled in the listing address, the price, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, and the description. Notice that my description can only be 350 characters max. Currently, it's 680. I'm simply going to just take off some of this. I'm not going to rewrite the whole thing since this is just a demonstration. Leave it at that. Now, The next thing, after we've put our description here, this doesn't have to be the description of the property. It can be anything that you want the postcard to say. It's going to ask us for a listing photo. Now, I highly recommend that you upload one of the original photos that was sent to you by the photographer. You do have the option to select the photos from the MLS, but they're going to be a compressed version and they're not going to be the best quality. Notice how each one of these photos has a red exclamation mark on it and it states that it is low resolution. That means that yes, you may see it here and it looks fine, but when it's printed, it's probably going to be very pixelated. So my suggestion is, again, if you're going to advertise a listing, go back to the original photos that were sent to you from the photographer and use one of those. The resolution is going to be much better. Now, if you're advertising somebody else's listing, contact that agent and ask them to send you some of the photos. I'm sure if they're okay with you advertising their listing, they'd be okay sending you the photos. To save time, I'm just simply going to select one of the listing photos. I'm going to keep scrolling down. Oh. I've got my agent information. This information is populated from the marketing profile in the settings section of Command. It simply just brings over my information from that and places it in here for me. Now I'm going to hit save. Again, I'm getting an error because I used a low resolution image. I'm okay with it for this demonstration. Now notice, my example on the right-hand side of the screen now has that photo in it. So you can start to see what the postcard is going to look like. I can also look at the back of the postcard using this drop down here. This is not a perfect example when you're looking at it on this screen. This is just a very compressed, condensed version. So the preview is not exact. It's not the prettiest. Before you pay for the postcard, at the very end, you will get to see an area or a mock-up version of the postcard that is going to be exactly what it looks like when it mails out, okay? So again, this is a compressed version. Sometimes the words could kind of be separated differently, a little funny, just like right here. Everything's got some different spacing. Once you see the final product at the end, you'll know exactly what it looks like. Okay, we have to fill out our market center information. Again, this logo is coming from the marketing profile. It looks a lot better on the postcard than it does there in the image. I find that for some reason, the state and the zip code never quite come over. And then we're going to verify that address. Yes, I confirm that's my address. Voila. And then we're going to pick a budget. Now, you'll see that this is 64 cents to mail out. That is the cost to print and mail the postcard. So 64 cents per postcard. And there's a ton of different things that you can do with these postcards. So it's an awesome way to hit a lot of houses for a little bit of money. So I'm going to say I just want to send 100 postcards, and it's going to give me the price of $64. Okay, I'm going to hit save. Now, something else that's really cool about these postcards is we can now add QR codes. So if you've created landing pages for your listings, you can turn on this QR code, select the landing page, and then if we come up to our example, you'll see that QR code here. Now, just a little word to the wise here. If you use a QR code, I highly recommend coming back into your description and making a statement that says, scan the QR code for more information. In my experience, if you don't put that in there, people tend to think that QR code is just a stamp. So add it to the description and be sure to save it. Now I'm ready to configure my targeting market. How we do that is we simply click this button right here, configure targeting. It will ask us, are you sure you want to create this campaign? The answer is yes. Now, for this postcard, I'm targeting the area around the house that is actually for sale. This red arrow is my listing, and all these blue dots are the 100 houses that are going to receive a postcard about this property. There's a couple different things that you can do. If you are looking more to hit this area, you have on the map radius, which is where it's getting these 100 houses, or I can use the draw option and I can tell it that I want to hit all of this area, and it will reconfigure and tell me how many homes are in that area. So 205, so I can send a postcard to all 205 houses in that area. We also have smart targeting. You can tell it how many houses you want to hit based off how many bedrooms it has, square feet, the year that it was built, the year that it was last sold, and what it last sold for. So of course, we always learn that people tend to buy and sell 7 years. It takes them about 7 years before they buy and sell. So maybe I don't want to send this postcard to someone who just bought their house in 2020. I can take this down maybe to 2018. You're going to notice some of these homes fell off my chart, and it's telling me that 188 houses in the area match my search results. So I can come up here and then change this to 188. And it'll grab the 188 houses that fit this criteria. Depending on what you're trying to do with the postcard will depend on how you shift these scales. I like to send postcards for open houses, to advertise. You can even create some from the design section and upload to farm an area, so sending them out once a month. Coming on down, once you're happy with the area that's getting the postcards, I always recommend checking this send copy to a company, to the company address. This is how you're going to know that your postcard went out. Yes, it's an additional 68 cents to send it to you, but once you get it in your inbox, you know that everybody else got their postcard too. Then we're going to hit next. On this screen is where you get your final preview of what the postcard looks like. Now notice my image is very pixely and grainy. Again, I used one from the MLS when I really should have uploaded one from my computer. Okay, I get to see what the front looks like, and notice that our final preview is a lot cleaner than the preview that we were looking at on the first screen as well. Okay, scrolling on down, all you have left to do is enter your email address, credit card number, expiration date, security code, and make that payment. Once you make that payment, it tells you over here, as long as you've placed the order before 3 p.m. on a business day, that postcard will be processed same day. They're then going to get it to the post office within 2 days, and it should be delivered 4 to 6 days after you've created it. These go out fast, they're easy and quick, and it's a great tool to use and let people know that you do it. People love it. Now, something that I want to mention after this. Obviously I'm not going to do this campaign, but someone had a wonderful idea of using this program to send out happy birthday postcards. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to go to designs. And show you how to quickly design a postcard that you can then download from Designs and upload directly into postcard campaigns. I already have one here created. If you're interested in how postcards work, let me know. I'll do a class on designs. This particular design was created in Designs using the print material. It's a very quick postcard that I threw together. I just picked a random postcard from the design section, called it, it has to be the standard size, so standard size postcard. I found this image for free on Google. I uploaded it as the background. I got rid of all the extra text, and then I just simply added my photo and the Keller Williams logo. I used the button in the bottom right-hand corner, and I told it that I wanted to look at page 2. And I just changed the information over here on page 2 to reflect all my information, the Johnson City logo, and then to simply say, wishing you a happy birthday, or wishing you the happiest birthday ever. So super simple. Again, I'm not going to walk through all the steps to create it, but this one's already done. Our next step is we need to download it so we can upload it into the campaign section. How we do that is we hit the download button up here. We then tell it to download, include the bleed, okay? It's very important that you download and include the bleed. Now you can download both pages at one time, or you can do the front and then the back. I prefer to download the front and then the back separately. When you download them together, it puts them in a zip file. It's just your preference. Do not navigate away from this page while you're downloading. Notice here it says preparing. And then once it's finished, it'll say download complete, and it'll be down here in the bottom. Okay, let's grab that second side. Download. Preparing. Download complete. Now I can navigate away from this. I'm going to go back to the campaign section. This time I'm going to select direct mail because I'm just going to use that same template that same draft that we did earlier. Select my 3 little dots and edit campaign. This time I'm going to change to upload design, and I'm going to upload those images here. Easy peasy. It goes directly in. I didn't need to redesign. You can see what the front's going to look like here. You can see what the back's going to look like here. This is an actual image of what it looks like. So super fun. It does take away the QR code. That's okay. This is more of a happy birthday thing. So now you're asking me, like, why do I want to target a neighborhood to say happy birthday? You wouldn't. This is one of those situations where if you've got people in your database and you're using your tags, maybe you have everyone in your database with a tag of the month that they were born. So January, February, March, April, May, June, which I don't, but I know some people who do. That's when you're going to click on targeting. Okay. When we were targeting before, we were targeting our local market that was geared around that address. We're not doing that anymore. Now we're targeting our database. So we would click target my database, add contact, tags, and then you would search for that tag that said July, May, June, you know, whatever month you're in. I'm just going to select this one. Click off of that. Now that's everybody in my database with that tag. Now, obviously this isn't a good tag to use, but it's what I've got right now. Then you just simply click select all, add to campaign, and preview and payment. These are leads that came in off of a advertisement. I don't have their addresses. So obviously for those people you're sending a postcard to, you would make sure that their address is in your database. I think a much better one would probably be I think I've got them as past clients, maybe. Yep, past client list. Here we go. I have the address for most of these people. So make sure their addresses are in there. Add to campaign. There they all are. Save. Again, you would want to send obviously birthday to someone. It's their birthday. Price is $6.40. Preview and payment. Oh, I forgot to finish out the Market Center information. Preview and payment. Yes. I got an error there. My front design is not blank. I'm not sure why it's telling me that. I did this earlier and it worked just fine. I apologize for whatever the issue may be right now, but when I did it earlier, it worked just fine. It took me to the preview and payment screen, type in your information and send it on. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, you know how to get in contact with me.